Yeah, so building that rapport is very important because it allows you to do what I call a strength and weakness survey. I started doing this when I first, no, well, not my first year teaching, but my second year teaching. My first year as a teacher, I came in October, so I didn't have my own class. I was team teaching with someone. She left, and then I took over the class. So it was just different. I didn't get a chance to do all the things that I would normally do as a teacher. So my second year as a teacher, I started this process of implementing a strength and weakness survey. And this only works when you have students who you've built a rapport with because they will be honest with you. What it is, I tell my students, take out a sheet of paper. On the first side, well, no, the first year I did it this way. Take out a sheet of paper, put a line down the middle. On the top part of the paper, I want you to talk about all the things that you like about Mr. Taylor's class. Now, I'm going to tell you, I already knew some of the things that they were going to say, using music to teach us math or reading or whatever. I was prepared for that. It was the bottom part that I was more interested in. So I said, on the bottom part of the paper, I need you to tell me the things that Mr. Taylor needs to work on. The same way you all are here learning, I want to learn to be an even better teacher. And I feel the way that I can do that is through your feedback. So if you will, you don't even have to put your name on it. Tell me the things that I need to work on. Well, let me tell you, because I had that rapport with my students, they knew they could tell me their name. All of them put their name on the paper, and they told me what I needed to know. And I highly recommend everyone do this. I do this towards the end of the year, right before we have all the celebrations, the class parties and everything, because you don't want them to say all these great things about you just because they're having a party. So this probably happens about a month and a half before school is out for the year. When I read my responses, it really blew my mind. Because remember now, I was that fun teacher, but I had 3 of my 5th graders to write pretty much the same thing. So I had to read between the lines to see exactly what they were talking about. One of the responses said, Mr. Taylor, as far as what you need to work on, you need to work on being more mean. I was like, whoa, a student telling me to be mean? Another student pretty much said the same thing. So I'm like, man. And don't forget, they put their name on the paper. So they wanted me to know who they were. And then I read one more paper. It was worded differently, but pretty much said the same thing, same sentiments. What they were saying to me is I needed to be stricter. I need to do what I say. So if I say you're gonna get a consequence for this particular infraction, I need to do it. I was the teacher who was given too many chances, and because of that, my classroom management wasn't where it needed to be. Now the students, they loved my class, remember. But again, that was an area where they were honest enough to tell me the truth. So again, please, this is probably going to be one of the best professional development you will ever receive, is to have your students do that strength and weakness survey. I know it was the best, one of the best that I've ever received. So I try to do this every year, encourage other teachers to do the same thing. Every chapter I like to leave you with a challenge and a self-reflection. The challenge is I want you to think about that student in your class, that student who can be a challenge for you behaviorally. And I want you to mentor or spend some time with that student once, maybe twice a week. It could be lunch or whatever, but spend that extra time to mentor that student. Give them that additional time and watch and see the difference in that particular child. I promise you, you will see, if not a 180 degree, you will see a significant difference. Now it's time to self-reflect. I say it all the time. The only way we grow as professionals in any profession is if we reflect. I want you to think about what are the strategies that you are implementing to show that you're trying to develop a rapport with your students. And whatever it is, like always, we can't work in silos. Come outside of that box, your classroom, share that strategy with one of your colleagues.